From this weekend. Let me show you this violence. Go to this violence, please. This is, oh no, wait a minute. This couldn't be about illegal immigration. Oh, this is Saturday. Oh yeah, that's right. May Day. Here's the communists in Germany. And they're just setting fires to things. Oh, look at them strolling down the streets as they just set things on fire. Isn't that great? You know, there's something funny because if you see this, go to Santa Cruz, please. Because look at the people just kind of strolling down the street in Santa Cruz. Oh, look, they're wearing masks. Why would you wear masks if you weren't going to do anything wrong? Pretty soon you'll start to see people start, there they are, they're starting to break windows. There they are, breaking windows, and then you'll see them throw chairs and things through plate glass windows. Here you go. Yeah, isn't that great? Isn't that great? This is just because of racism, though. No, wait a minute here, because before racism, it was another thing that we've seen this before with the Day of Action rallies. Do you remember this? We showed you this. This is they had lit cars on fire. This is the Day of Action where unions got together with communists here in America just a couple of months ago. We talked about it on this program. I don't know anybody else that did. They put people on the streets to protest cuts in education, protest cuts because they were going to have to fire teachers and the union. Wait a minute, that sounds a little like what happened in Greece. And that's weird because that's what happened in the protest at Berkeley, California. Trash cans were torched and thrown, windows were smashed, rocks and bottles were thrown at police. That's weird. Who is behind these rallies? The Association of Raza Educators. Wait a minute, we just saw these guys. They were again just a minute ago. The Movement for a Democratic Society, SEIU, the International Socialist Organization. Let me go back to Greece, where violence got so bad in Greece, police were actually attacked with a firearm. Look at this. And if you don't think that if you think it's a coincidence they all happen to be carrying red flags, you're a dope. Oh, now they're throwing Molotov cocktails. You'll like this because they just threw another one, and this police officer actually catches fire. And of course, the photographers, they can't put their camera down. They need to get this one, okay? We haven't seen that here yet. But again, may I remind you, look at the future. Here it is, protesting the immigration bill. Oh, just got hit in the head. A cop just got hit in the head with a bottle. Huh. The only thing missing in this picture, the rag and gas. But I'm sure we'll get there. The right is being demonized as violent, hateful right now. But the right isn't the one who's ever called police officer pigs. They aren't the ones who initially doubt the police before having all of the facts. Are we?
I don't know, not having been there and not seeing all the facts, what role race played in that. But I think it's fair to say, number one, any of us would be pretty angry. Number two, that the Cambridge police acted stupidly.
Okay. Let me tell you something. This has nothing to do with race. This has nothing to do with, really, with anything that anybody's talking about on television. It's not. It comes from a bunch of people who say that they want to fundamentally transform something that they love. Guys, let me ask you a question. You say to your wife today, honey, I love you so much. You are just the perfect woman. I know we have our problems. You got things you're working on, but I love you so much. I just want you to fundamentally transform. That's how much I love you. That's a love note? You preserve something that you love. You restore something that is fantastic. You don't fundamentally transform something you cherish. I told you last summer, and again, the press, and they'll do it again. The press will tell you, don't listen to him. He's a fearmonger. I'm telling you, there's something going on very bad, and you can see the pattern. And it's beginning here. I told you that if you read this book last summer, if you paid attention, you'd see our future. Now, the follow-up comes out. What is it called? We are an image from the future. Why is it that they can say it? They can blog about it. They can write about it. They can write books about it. They can announce it in advance. They can put it up on their websites and tell you exactly where they're going to be, what they're going to do. I can show you the video, and yet nobody in the media even cares. And somehow, if I do show you the video, I'm the problem. I had enough this weekend. Unions are using their members' good names. You are no different than my grandfather. They're using your money to wreak havoc on our country. Is it a coincidence that John Sweeney, a radicalized union member, repealed the language that barred members of the Communist Party from full participation in unions? That just happened. Is that a coincidence? How about this one? Is it a coincidence that the teachers union wanted to be able to teach communism to our kids in California, but Schwarzenegger said, I don't think so? Here's part of this bill. Under existing law, a public employee is required to answer under oath specified questions, including but not limited to knowing membership in an organization advocating the forceful or violent overthrow of the government of the United States or any state. Why in your right mind would you want somebody to not be able to answer that question who's teaching? You're a knowing participant in a group that wants to overthrow the United States. I think that's a good safety tip. I don't think you should be teaching. Why did they try to remove that? Look, that's not you. If you're a union member, this isn't you. It's not you. My grandfather was a shop steward. He was a union member, proud union member at Boeing. My mother-in-law is a proud union member. She was arrested marching with Jesse Jackson, my mother-in-law. She works at a major university. I know this university. I see how this university treats its employees, pays its employees, while sitting on tax-free endowments of $20 billion and charging people out the nose for an education. I told her, Mom, you ever want me to march with you and get arrested with union members and Jesse Jackson? Call me, because I'll do it. Common sense has to rule. There are good reasons to have unions. They usually involve companies or universities that have gotten so powerful and in bed with the elite that they can stomp on people and their rights. That's when you need a union. However, the same is true with unions. The unions say they are standing up for the little guy. No, they are not. Not anymore. You are the little guy. You, with union money, are bailing GM out. How does that help the little guy? You see, the little guy doesn't go to the White House. The unions do. There is a profit motive, a revolutionary motive, and they need members in their rank and file. The unions are in bed with Washington and special interest, and they are not in your or this nation's best interest anymore. They are following the playbooks from Europe. May I show you what the playbook is? And see if this sounds familiar. First thing you do is you socialize the government. Then you unionize those government jobs. You overpromise your pensions and you overspend. You blame others for the business and government cuts when that overspending and overpromised pensions begin to collapse. Then you protest the cuts in the taxes that affect the unions. And you blame it on everybody else. And you demand that it stop. And then when that doesn't work, then violence. Just to cover your tracks, because you were the one. This is a self-fulfilling prophecy. Self-fulfilling. You can call it Cloward Piven, communism, cronyism, old gray capitalism, lack of foresight, backbone, common sense. You can call it any of those things. A lack of common sense, best case scenario. But as this book says, this is a picture of our future. Because where are we on this? Where are we? Here. Our unions have to be exposed, and it's easy to do. Why won't the media do it? The members of unions must recognize the patterns. They must see the financial reality before we become Greece. You have to speak out, and I know it's tough. You have to do the hard thing. You have to stand up and be seen standing up in front of your children. We are not France. We're different. Our people have been different. We always have been. We're a people of faith. That needs to be restored. It's what gives us hope.